Check ultimateguard.com and find premium quality products for your favorite trading card game. Check video description or visit Ultimate Guard for more.
How's it going, YouTube? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Drampa-GX Garbodor deck for the standard format. So, the Garbodor with the Trash Challenge. This attack does 20 damage for each item card in your opponent discard pile for just a single energy card. And that's just way too broken. This Garbodor can completely destroy everything. Mega Mewtwo is completely destroyed as long as your opponent plays Garbodor. Any other deck like Espeon GX, for example, can easily be destroyed by the Garbodor. Any other Pokemon like Psychic Pokemon like Mega Alakazam, they simply don't stand a chance against that Garbodor. On the other side, Drampa can also help in a lot of different matchups. With the first attack, for 20 damage counters, you can discard a special energy from your opponent Pokemon in the active position, of course. With Berserk, you can strike for like 150 if you have any damage counter to one of your banished Pokemons. With the choice band, it can be like 180. It can be easily enough for the knockout against popular EX Pokemon in the center format, like a Darkrai, like a Yveltal, like a Giratina, like Tapu Lele, for example, like another Drampa, like a Jolteon, like a Glaceon, whatever. There's plenty of them. But yeah, I mean, Drampa for like 150, 180, Garbodor for like 1000 damage counters. So I'm running 14 Pokemon, 35 training cards, and 11 energies, as you can see. I'm running 3 copies of a Drampa-GX and 4 copies of Trubbish. Decided to go with 4 copies of AC Spray Trubbishes, and with 1 Garbodor with the Garbotoxin, and with 3 Garbodors with the Trash Challenge. In addition to that, I'm running 1 copy of the Shaymin for the setup, and 2 Tapu Leles with the Energy Drive and Tapu Cure, but also with the Wonder Tag ability, which will allows us to search our deck for any supported card once we play Tapu Lele on the bench. Then from the item cards, I'm running also 1 copy of the Enhanced Hammer because it's way too good card. Why? If we can't one-hit knock out our opponent Giratina with the Turbo Darkrai, for example, we can always maybe Lysander that Giratina and use maybe first attack for 20, and also use Enhanced Hammer, and we can completely discard 4 Double Dragon Energies, or in theory and in Verk, discard and reduce damage for the Darkrai for like 80. 2 copies of Field Blower absolutely must have because it helps you to discard your opponent tools from play, which will increase the damage for the Garbodor, of course, but also will help you to discard stadiums or maybe even your tools if you find yourself in a position that you need to maybe attach Flowstone instead of the Choice Band. Rescue Stretcher and Super Road ×1 for the resource recycling, 4 copies of Ultra Balls, 4 V-Seekers, 2 copies of Team Magma Secret Base as a stadium. Whenever you play basic Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you can put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. This is very important for the Drampa. And of course, with the Tapu Lele Skyla combo, we can easily grab that and put it onto the turn 1 into the play. Supporter line, I'm running 1 copy of Bridget because it's just way too good with the Tapu Lele, same as the Hex Maniac. Also 1 copy of Karen, very important in the matchups against the Wespy Queens, because Wespy Queens looks like to be again popular. Decided to go with 1 copy of Lily just because with the Tapu Lele again turn 1 we can drop cards till we have 8 with the Lily. In the middle late game, Lily can also be good just in case we don't want to discard some of the resources with the Sycamore, for example, or if we don't want to, and we can always Lily. Double Lysander play in this build because it's just way too good. Under the item lock against the CGI decks, we can easily Lysander 2 times with the Garbodor, Trash Challenge for so many damage counters. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't run 2 of them. 2 copies of the 2 copies of Lysander, 3 copies of Anna for the drop support, as well as 3 copies of Sycamore with 1 Lily. That's 7 drop supporters in total. 1 Olympia just in case if we're stuck in the active position with the Garbodor without Flowstone and we cannot retreat, we can always V-Seeker for Olympia. So we don't need to worry about losing by not being able to retreat. 1 copy of Skyla, search your deck for a training card, reveal and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterward. 3 copies of Choice Band, 3 copies of Flowstones, and of course 11 energies. 4 of them are going to be DCs or double Colress energies, which will provide 2 Colress energies, and of course 7 regular Psychic energies. This deck unfortunately does not contain Trainer's Mail, Acrobikes. I tried to build it with less item cards as I can. Simply because in a mirror match it's very important to not have too many item cards in your discard pile. just because you really want to, in a mirror match, attack with the Drampa, Berserk, for one hit knock against those Shaymin, Tapu Leles, and of course your opponent Drampas, because against Garbodor, that's definitely not going to be good as well. So if you're looking for any of these cards, make sure to check ccgcastle.com. TCG75 code will allow you to get 5% discount on your first purchase. If you're looking to trade your bulk for the Guardian Raising, Evolution, Sun and Moon booster box, you can also pre-order the latest Sun and Moon Bandit Rising or Sun and Moon 3, whatever booster box. You can do that. Just make sure to check my video description. The boxes to you will be shipped for free worldwide, so yeah, definitely good deal. In today's video I played like 3 games, and I must admit that this deck is completely broken. Managed to lose only 1 game of 14 in total, so you know how broken this build is. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure also to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you already didn't. So let me know also what you think about this deck in the comments below. So see you in the game. So, Drampa-GX featuring Garbodor. Let's take a look at the opening hand, starting with 1 copy of a Trubbish. More than that, there's a Choice Band and a Sycamore available, featuring Field Blower and couple energies. I'm just thinking about looking at my hand right now, maybe even playing that Sycamore for 7. Attaching my Choice Band, of course, and playing maybe Field Blower if that's gonna be the case. There's a Trainer's Mail for a Lily. There's another Tapu Koko, put it down to my opponent bench, which is definitely not something you would like to play. And a Choice Band, and a Lily for 6. Okay. If you play this deck with the Raikou, of course, you really want to put your energies down to maybe Raikou or another Tapu Koko, but anyways, really doesn't matter for now. That's just gonna be 1 Field Blower. I'm gonna get rid of both Rough Seas and a Choice Band. We'll play my energy and Sycamore for 7. I know technically with 1 copy of the this is very interesting, but I don't have another choice than put my Tapu Lele on the bench and grab myself something like another Sycamore. Maybe even better, a Bridget. Bridget might seems like a better idea actually for the next turn. I'm striking for like a 40. I mean, that's insane. Yeah, I decided to take Bridget for myself just because with the Bridget I can set up my bench much better. Plus on the other side, if my opponent, for example, managed to find himself another Tapu Koko with the Max Elixir or just Max Elixir Floatstone, he can easily just swap, you know, between Tapu Koko to Tapu Koko. So that's the Shaymin with Aroma of Gratitude, which says once during a turn you might heal 20 damage from each of your benched basic Pokemons, and I kind of like that in the addition with Rough Seas. You can heal for like 5 damage counters per turn. And there's even first Ether Paradise Conversation Area, which means that I will do 30 damage less. So right now I can strike only for 10 like. There's a Ultra Ball, which might be for a Shaymin-EX. For the Shaymin-EX, nope, it's for the Voltorb. Okay, so I have for my turn Skyla for the Ultra Ball. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, or actually 4 item cards in his, but that's like 80, and Choice Band is like 110. That's not gonna be enough for the knockout. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna play my Sycamore for 7. Sycamore for 7, discarding my entire hand. Well, at least I find myself Drampa and a Garbodor. And yeah, Trash Lange for like 80. It's okay. More than less, it's okay. Tapu Koko, Sky High Close, 130 base. So that's pretty sweet. Plus on the other side, he also have that Electrode and a V-Seeker for Lily, or maybe for Sycamore, but Sycamore sounds like a better idea. It will allow you to take 1 extra card. Lily over Sycamore, pretty much near same when you have empty hand, but Sycamore is still better for that extra card. Okay, so he definitely needs another Tapu Koko or any kind of the max potion. There we go with the Ultra Ball, so I wouldn't be surprised to see nothing less but a Tapu Koko. So he definitely needs Tapu Koko right now, and with that Tapu Koko, he can simply use the advantage of the ability. Arrow Trail, put his another Tapu Koko in the front, knocks out my Garbodor, and take the first prize in the game. But then I'm gonna strike him for like 100 with my another Garbodor, for example. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna promote my Tapu Lele, there is no question about it. I'm gonna play myself double Course Energy from my hand and one copy of the M. So what I need here is a Garbodor with the Garbotox and the Tool card, but looks like I'm not gonna get any of these two cards. Yep, nothing. But at least I have my energy drive. Will be for like 100. Right now his bench is almost full. I mean, he can always knock out his Electrode in addition for that double lining energy for his another Tapu Koko, and maybe he can play then another Tapu Koko from his hand. I'm not seeing a single max potion at this moment, so I'm just wondering where's the max potions from my opponent, because one max potion can definitely help him. But it's an item card, and the more item cards he play, much stronger my Garbodor would be. So that's like Floatstone and the Max Elixir, and yeah, he's very close for the knockout for the next turn. Or he can maybe just knocks out his Electrode, attach it to the Tapu Koko, and strike for like 200 with the Tapu Thunder GX. It will be more than enough. Oh, he decided to go for the knockout against my Garbodor. Well, that's also fine for me. That's also fine for me because with my Drampa right now, I can actually knock out his Tapu Koko here easily. All I really need is just the Choice Band. And I hope I'm not gonna miss that Choice Band, to be honest. So there we go. That's the knockout. I'm going down to... He's going down to like 4 prize cards. That's another Drampa and another Tapu Lele. And I definitely need that Sycamore for 7, but most importantly I'll also need my Stadium and a Choice Band. So if I miss that, next turn his GX attack will just completely knocks me out. And I actually missed that. But at least I can scrap his... I can at least scrap his double energy attached, and I'm just gonna strike for like 150. That Stadium actually saves him. I was not able to find my Team Magma secret base, unfortunately. So there is a Aroma of Gratitude. Some of the damage counters will be healed from those Tapu Kokos on the bench. But it's alright. It's alright. One Lysander will allow him to knock out his Shaymin. If he wants to attack, he definitely needs to pay retreat cost and use his GX attack, which means that after that the base damage from my opponent will be only 130, which is not even close for the one hit knockout against my Tapu Lele or my Drampa. Plus I can also end him down to like 2 cards maybe. Even my Tapu Lele will be enough for the knockout against his Tapu Koko. So there we go. 250, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Yeah, I definitely need to promote my Tapu Lele with the Choice Band in the front. Plus I also have Ultra Ball available. And that Ultra Ball, it's definitely gonna be... It's definitely gonna be for the Garbodor, but the question is, it will be for the Garbodor with the Garbotoxin. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be for the Garbodor with the Garbotoxin, because I definitely need to lock this game right now. Plus I'm gonna attach my energy to my Drampa. And I'm gonna knock out my opponent with the energy drive. So that's 100. That's exactly what I need. So that's the knockout. There we go with the Field Blower and the VS Seeker. So if my opponent don't have Field Blower, available for this turn in his hand, he's definitely not gonna feel comfortable. He have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 item cards. That's 160. One more item card and I can go for the one-hit knockout with my Garbodor. The good thing about this is that I can also VS Seeker for any kind of the supporter. Of course, I'm gonna go with the VS Seeker for the Sycamore. Before I do that, I'm gonna play my Field Blower down to my Choice Band into the active Tapu Lele, and I'm also gonna discard his Stadium from play, so I can attach my Floatstone to Tapu Lele, so I can have the Furry Treat, of course, available, and then Sycamore for 7. Because if I can find myself a Choice Band and the double Course Energy, then I can also knock his Tapu Lele with my Drampa for the 2 prize cards, and that's just gonna be insane play. However, that's not gonna happen because 2 Choice Bands are already in my discard pile. Which means that maybe even Lysander top deck would be much better. So Ultra Ball for a Tapu Lele, but unfortunately, as long as the Garbodor is in play, Tapu Lele will not work. So he probably wants to discard him with the Sycamore for 7, if he don't want to drop him again. And that VS Seeker is actually very important here because that was the 9th. That was the 9 item cards right now in my opponent discard pile. Let me just check that. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 11. He actually have 11 in total. That's even more. Field Blower. There we go. Floatstone. A VS Seeker for Professor Sycamore. This is the reason why I actually like this Field Blower and why I play 2 copies of Field Blowers, because you can also get rid of your tool card, for example, without too many problems. Ultra Ball for a Lysander, and not for the Lysander, for the N and for the Ultra Ball. Of course, it's going to be for the Garbodor, and right now that Garbodor will be just all I really need for the knockout. But on the other side, I don't see how my opponent can actually recover from this position. So for a retreat, I can still preserve the DC. I can trash Lance for like 220, get the one-hit knockout against his Tapu Lele, and any kind of the Pokemon that my opponent promotes in the active position, it will be just one-hit knocked out. So he can maximum strike for like a 60 with his Shaymin, but unfortunately he can't even do that. I'm not sure why he didn't want to go with the energy attachment down to the Tapu Koko, but still, if he can strike for only 130 without Choice Band available, that's pretty much it. So Kukui for extra. Okay, so for example, Kukui would be extra 20. For 150 and knock it against my Tapu Lele, but this is it. This is the GG. Let's move on to the another game. So one more game will be played for this deck test. Okay, game number 2. I lost the coin flip. My opponent should probably start first. Let's see what we can find in the opening hand. Well, there's one copy of Drampa. Alright, there's also Bridget, Lily, Sycamore, Tapu Lele. Plenty of good available resources. It might be a mirror match, it might be a Mega Mewtwo just watching those sleeves. Not sure, but we'll definitely find out. Extra card for me is a Ultra Ball. Oh, it is Mega Mewtwo. It is Mega Mewtwo. 1 Psychic Energy attached, 1 Trainer's Mail. I'm not sure how Mega Mewtwo can beat Garbodor, especially if you just decided to play with 4 Garbodors and if you just put them onto your bench. I mean, for 5 item cards in your opponent discard pile, that's like 100. Choice Band, that's like 130 times 2, 260. Even 4 item cards in the opponent discard pile, that's like 80. And Choice Band, that's like 180, can be one-hit knockout against Mega Mewtwo, for example. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna attach my Choice Band. I'm gonna Ultra Ball for Sycamore and Bridget. And I'm gonna find myself Trubbish. Yeah, definitely, Trubbish. Then I'm gonna Lily. Alright, there is another Trubbish. More than that, I have double course energy, but I'm not sure how smart is to attach that and play that double course energy. But tell you one thing. I will attach it, who cares? And I will strike my opponent for like a 20. Plus 30, it's like 50. I'm striking him for 50, who cares? Next turn I can just knock him out. But still I'm gonna knock him out probably with my Garbodor. So far I can strike for like 40, 70. Yeah, there's a float zone for Shaymin. And it's probably gonna be a V Seeker for Sycamore and for 7 new cards. Mega Mewtwo 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. So even if he can find himself a Mega Mewtwo, he can strike for like 160. So Mega Turbo is definitely a card he needs for the knockout. That Mega Turbo will be okay, maybe he decides to, well, now too many item cards already in his discard pile, so even if he can swap damage counters, it's not gonna be that effective. He already have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 item cards in his discard pile, which means Garbodor will just strike his Mega Mewtwo so hard for the one-hit knockout. All I really need is just a single energy card, and that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous how powerful really it is. Yeah, let's just play that Enhanced Hammer, and let's just grab that Rescue Stretcher for a Drampa. I'm gonna put my Drampa back onto the bench, and all I really need is just that Sycamore for like 7. Not looking forward even to play my Drampa. I can't recycle nothing with my Super Rod, so I just need one Psychic Energy. Of course I will find it. Not the one, but a couple of them. Choice Band, that's okay. So that's one Trashalanche, which is gonna be for like 340 damage counters against that Mewtwo. And of course, immediately my opponent decided to concede, so nothing else he can do. Mega Mewtwo is just done. Mega Mewtwo deck is not good anymore just because of the Garbodor, and that's it. So let's play one more game for the final conclusion of this deck. Alright, so there we go. The game number 3. I'm playing against Zoroark, or at least it looks like it's gonna be Zoroark. Alright, so immediately one Skyfield and a Ultra Ball. Alright, Rayquaza Spirit Link. Interesting. Ultra Ball for the Hoopa EX. So far, 2 item cards in my opponent discard pile. That's already 40 damage counters with my Trubbish. What else you really need? If I go first, I would also play just Bridget and put my Shaymin with a double course energy. This is one Skandering, and I mean, in real life, probably nobody will play Mega Rayquaza anymore just because of the Sudowoodo. I'm not playing Sudowoodo in this build just because I don't feel how I need it actually, and I don't know how it's gonna be good. I mean, it's okay, but who plays these days Mega Rayquaza anymore? Yeah, Shaymin for like 5. Mega Rayquaza was very good and very powerful and very popular like a year ago when the Roaring Skies was introduced, but more than that, there's too many cards that can actually destroy Mega Rayquaza. The first one is a Pearl City. It can put your bench down to 3. The second one is the Sudowoodo, who can limit your bench space down to like 120. But then you can still have that Zoroark as a backup support attacker who can allow you to maybe strike for like 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent Pokemons on his bench. So there we go with the Float Stone. And yeah, that Field Blower will definitely be effective. I cannot say anything against it. I'm gonna see probably right now another Shaymin and Rayquaza and Mega Rayquaza with the just Mega Evolution into the another Mega Rayquaza without Tool. So he can end his turn for the turn 1, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4 item cards technically I can have in my opponent discard pile. Of course, those flow stones are gonna be the most important. Actually, Majournia and Rayquaza. That's fine. Alright, so there we go. Rayquaza. 7 Pokemons on his bench, which means that he can strike for like 8. He can strike for like 240. 240 easily. 240 easily. One Sudowoodo would just cut this into the half. It's even scary to place my... Alright, so let's first go with 1 copy of the Field Blower. And I'm also gonna discard his Skyfield from play, so I can reduce his damage at least for like 90. Then I'm gonna bridge it, and of course after it I'm just gonna Sky Return. And that's gonna be it. I mean, 3 Shaymins are gonna be discarded, you don't need to think too much about that. Let's see what we can find with the bridge. 2 Trubbish and 1 Drampa. Why not? And 1 Sky Return, which will goes down to my Trubbish. Alright, turn 2 for me. I can have my Choice Band attached down to my Drampa. I can have 1 Psychic Energy attached maybe to my Trubbish. Then I can probably just, you know, Shaymin setup, and then after that Hex Maniac. I definitely put my opponent in a very uncomfortable position right now because he didn't use a Floatstone to retreat his Zorua, which was, in my opinion, very, very bad decision. It was really bad choice for him. On the other side, even if I can't, you know, do something significantly to his Mega Rayquaza, I can always use my Drampa-GX first attack and discard his double course energies from his Mega Rayquaza. So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 item cards in his discard pile, 7 with the Super O. That's like 140, 170 with the advantage of the Choice Band. Striking for like 170 is not that bad. 190 right now with another Super O. Come on, mate. Discard a couple more item cards so I can strike for more. Alright, again we have Silent Lab in play. Actually, Skyfield in play. And 3, 4, 8. And 8 item cards in my opponent discard pile. Tools, items, trainers, whatever. Anyways. 2 Mega Rayquazas ready, almost ready to strike as nuclear weapon for like 210. But no, he just find himself in a position where he needs to pass his turn, which means I'm gonna Ultra Ball, and I'm gonna find myself even another Drampa here. I don't need to rush anywhere, to be honest. I'm just gonna set up my Shaymin for like 6. I might even find myself a chance to strike for 1-hit knockout against his Hoopa or maybe Majournia. Well, there is a Garbodor and a Floatstone. So let's do something like this. Garbodor, a Floatstone, a Garbodor once again, and then simply Sycamore for 7. So I still don't have what I'm looking for, and you know that I'm looking for that Stadium card, but I can discard a couple more item cards just in case for my opponent Pokemon's in play. And after that, I can keep my Garbodor in the front and pass my turn. I don't need to rush anywhere. For now, he have like 4, 6, 8, 10. He have 10 item cards in his discard pile, meaning that I can strike for 200, and Rayquaza is like 220. means that I just need Garbodor with Choice Band, and I can just Lysander for the one-hit knockout against his Mega Rayquaza with my Garbodor, which is just insane. There is Zoroark, however, he still needs to find himself a Floatstone, but already 2 Floatstones are discarded, and he decided to clutch for that Lysander play. And a Floatstone, so he have Floatstone available, but he don't have Energy card. Once again, he didn't find himself a Energy, which means I'm just gonna Ultra Ball, and I'm gonna grab myself another Garbodor in play. So right now I have actually 2 different attackers. I do have Floatstone, I do have VS Seeker, and I do have my Sycamore for 7. Will I maybe even find myself here a Stadium? I will. And I needed to play it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna Sky Return, and that's it. I'm just gonna Sky Return, so I can next turn have my Trubbish available in play. So retreat down to my Shaymin, and that's gonna be 1 Choice Band play and 1 Sky Return for the knockout. Promoting into the active position. How many Skyfields did he play? 2 of them. I can even promote in my active position my Garbodor with the Floatstone, because it's just 1 price trade. Okay, so there it is. Emerald Drake for the knockout. 120, my friends. All I really need right here, right now, is just a single Psychic Energy, and I finally managed to find myself one. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna retreat down to my Garbodor. Also gonna put my Drampa on the bench just to have 1 more with the damage counter, and Trashalanche for 250 with a single Psychic Energy. Of course, still the game is not over, because with 1 copy of N, my opponent can simply end me down to maybe 1 card, and from there I might just find myself in a position where I can't find the energy card to attack, and I just might stuck forever without energies. No, he decided to concede, but that's it. Even as you can see, my opponent was so unlucky that he was not able to find the resources. 1 energy is all you really need to strike for like 200 plus damage counters. It's just insane. How many item cards your opponent have in his discard pile? 20 damage times the each item card. Garbodor with the Trashalanche will dust your opponent Pokemon in play. Of course, if you have Lysander to his benched Pokemon. If you don't have, then just to his active Pokemon. That was, guys, pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed watching this deck list in action, and I hope this deck list will actually help you a lot, just to know what type of the cards you need to have. Of course, I didn't play Sudowoodo in this deck because I didn't expect to play against Mega Rayquaza, but even if you play against Mega Rayquaza, if you can just simply have enough item cards in your opponent's discard pile, you can just win the game easily. Plus, Enhanced Hammer can help against the deck, same as the Drampa's first attack to discard also his energies from play. Thanks for watching once again. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you have any questions, make sure to leave comments below. Till the next time, have a nice day, and we'll see you in the next video, so goodbye.